Let's turn to royal news now with UK barrister and broadcaster and president of Octopus TV, Andrew Eborn. Andrew Eborn, wonderful to see you.
It's always a delight to see you, Gabriella.
Well, I'm very disappointed that you're not here in Australia because that is where Harry and Meghan are right now. They're here for the first time since 2018, but it's, of course, a very different tour to back then, and a lot has happened in between now and then. How would you describe this tour? Of course, we're going to unpack all of it, but would you say it's pretty high stakes for Harry and Meghan?
I would say it's the Meghan la-Mania, isn't it? Madness tour. We sent them to join you. And I'm sure that you were right there as soon as the Qantas airline landed with your ticker tape parade.
I was busy, unfortunately. Very sad to miss it.
Absolutely. So they've all arrived in Melbourne, haven't they? 14th of April on this Qantas airline flight from LA. It's a privately funded 4-day tour is what they want to make this sort of point, because obviously there was this big petition, 40,000 people saying make sure you don't spend our money on it. It's their first joint tour, as you rightly say, since 2018. And the first stop is the Royal Children's Hospital. Apparently large crowds gathered in the foyer. They greeted staff, patients, and there was a 4-year-old little Lily who has a birthday one day before Lilibet, the Sussex's wonderful daughter, whose birthday is on June the 4th. And she gave Meghan a knitted flower, which I'm sure will now become part of the As Ever range, where you can just get flower sprinklers as well as little knitted flowers as well. What I also like, they did spend some time in good sort of side in the Kelpie ward for acute oncology rehabilitation. And it's got its own little green space where Harry and Meghan, they joined the patients for what's called a garden therapy session. Boy, do we need some of those every now and again. And apparently during this session, Harry picked up a piece of bark, which was used in exercise, and he joked he better not keep it because he'd be arrested at some point. Look at him trying to steal the limelight from Andrew. You know, what's that about? You work on that sort of basis. So he was a bit worried about that sort of side. Meghan then went over to the Solo Macaulay Community Service Women's Shelter, which are a very important cause about supporting family violence and homeless victims and so on and so forth. She put on her apron, and you'll be delighted. No possible missing of any opportunity to promote her brand. She made this wonderful personal favourite, the breakfast frittata. We start every day with one of those, don't we? So we do it on that sort of basis. She says this is the same dish that she cooks for Harry, Archie and Lilibet, and that was featured. You know, we love the product placement. And she said, is anybody else hungry? Well, I'm sure you were hungry for a lot more, weren't you, Gabriella?
I'm not too sure about that, Andrew. It's pretty shameless hearing about that. But you're right. They landed in Melbourne. Harry and Meghan visited the Royal Children's Hospital straight away. We saw pictures of hundreds of people just turning out to catch a glimpse of them. But it was a very controlled environment. It's interesting. They're not going to be engaging in royal walkabouts during this tour. You know, why would you say that is? I suppose they're not really working royals anymore, but they often pretend to be.
Well, I think there's two reasons for that, isn't there? There was this petition to make sure we don't spend public money in Australia, 40,000 signatures it got. They are privately funding their own security arrangement, although obviously local security will be involved as well because that happens. So that would be one reason. I guess they were also partly worried about the possible reaction that they may get out there because there's been very public condemnation from a lot of people. So it is a controlled environment on that sort of basis. You want to make sure that however much people would love to see, that you can control those sort of photo opportunities and keep the press in that sort of way.
And of course, the biggest distinction between their last visit and their visit now is that last time they were working members of the royal family, and now they both have paid speaking appearances. Harry is one of the keynote speakers at the Inter-Edge Summit in Melbourne, and Meghan is, of course, attending this she is the VIP guest, I should say, at the Her Best Life Wellness Retreat at the Intercontinental Hotel in Coogee. And, of course, VIP tickets for this cost more than $3,000. Tell you what, Australians can barely afford to fill up their car with fuel at the moment, so I don't know who is paying thousands of dollars for that. Well, apparently not many, it seems, Andrew. It's failed to sell out. What more can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you because there was a sort of leaked email exchange from somebody who signed up and was put on a waiting list, apparently, and they weren't really intending to go, but they leaked it on Reddit, I think it was. And they sort of turned around and said they were receiving emails saying, look, we've still got your place, we'll give you another 24 hours to respond. And they've got another one, keep reminding them that you've still got this space. And if you want to bring a bestie, we'll squeeze them in as well. So the suggestion that it's been sold out, 300 people, as you say, at thousands of dollars, is sort of extraordinary in this sort of economic climate where people are struggling to find enough money to put in the petrol for the car. So it is extraordinary and not very surprising. There are also rather worrying stuff. You'll get a group photo if you pay the huge eye-watering sum for the VIP table. You get a group photo with Meghan. But also what was rather worrying is that some people had to basically shack up with other people they may not know, strangers, unless you bought these VIP solo rooms. So you could be in a twin room with a complete stranger, were reports on that sort of basis. But it is extraordinary the amount of money which has been spent. And you're looking at that sort of side. But every sort of opportunity to extract money, and I can guarantee the biggest thing, the biggest promotional side, is going to be about the launch in Australia of the As Ever brand. And it was all as a result of the campaign that we did on your brilliant show, Gabriella, to make sure you can get easy access to those flower sprinkles.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Can't wait. That is for sure. Andrew Eborn, UK barrister and broadcaster, thank you so much for making the time and joining us on Power Hour. Always brilliant to speak with you.
Delighted to see you, Gabby. Looking forward to next time.